friends. This is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Sunday, September 15th at approximately 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you today with an extra special anniversary edition of FLOSSTUBE for you. Yep, this is the anniversary edition of FLOSSTUBE, and I'll get into that a little bit in a little bit here. So if you're new to my channel, thank you very much for stopping by. It's always great to meet new friends. You're no exception. Hopefully you'll find something here on my channel that will encourage or enable you to start a new craft, to learn something new, to just get inspiration, or to just have something playing in the background. And hopefully you will be encouraged to come back and visit more often. So thank you very much for stopping by. If you're a returning watcher, thank you again for stopping back by. I always like to spend time here on YouTube with my stitching and crafty friends, and you're definitely not the exception. So thank you very, very much for stopping back by. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay! Thank you for being a wonderful friend over however long you've been subscribed to my channel. And it's great to spend time here with friends. So, as I mentioned, today is an extra special FLOSSTUBE installment. You see, as it was 7 years ago today, September 15th, 2017, I uploaded my very first FLOSSTUBE video. So it took me a little while to record the video. I made several attempts over a week or so span, if I remember right. And I finally uploaded my first video September 15th, 2017. So if you're part of my channel and you are interested in learning all about me from the beginning of my FLOSSTUBE foray into videos, I encourage you to go back and watch my very first FLOSSTUBE video. In that video, I gave an introduction, and I also did, back then, a very popular thing on FLOSSTUBE was to do the Know Your Needleworker tag. So I answered some of the questions from the Know Your Needleworker tag. And it was very much a first video. Lots of mistakes were made along the way and everything like that. In that video, I also mentioned that I was watching FLOSSTUBE for a couple of weeks. And one of the first FLOSSTUBers that I mentioned on my channel, actually the first FLOSSTUBer I mentioned on my channel, was a very pretty lady named Christy Scott, who had a FLOSSTUBE channel called Stitch on Wheels, a crafty traveler. If I'm looking over this way, it's because I have her FLOSSTUBE channel up on my second monitor. And Christy was a full-time RVer, and she had several videos out over the year that I watched her. She only put out videos for a little over a year on FLOSSTUBE, and she only has about 9 videos on her channel. She was the first, one of the first FLOSSTUBers that I started watching, and her videos are still out there, but she hasn't made a FLOSSTUBE video in at least 7 years. So it's been quite a while for her to make FLOSSTUBE videos. Calico is another one of the FLOSSTUBers that I have been watching for a long time. Calico Whimsy, I think, is her FLOSSTUBE channel. It might just be Calico. But she was a friend of Stitch on Wheels, and they actually did one of the videos together where Calico went and visited with her. And I reached out to Calico probably about a year and a half ago or so to see how Christy was doing, because Christy stepped away, life changes and health issues and whatnot. And Calico said, yeah, her life has changed. She's no longer RVing, and just that because of life changes and whatnot, she's kind of stepped away from putting her craftiness out to the world. So sadly, the first person that kind of got me interested in doing FLOSSTUBE Stitch on Wheels, Christy Scott, is no longer doing videos, but you can actually watch her videos, the 9 videos that she has out. You can watch her videos still on FLOSSTUBE. I will be linking her channel down below, so give her some love. I don't know if she even gets notifications about her channel anymore or how long her videos will remain on YouTube. I don't know if YouTube archives channels that don't put content out regularly or not. So anyway, this is my 7th anniversary of FLOSSTUBE videos. So excited. I was a little nervous about what to say or what to do for this channel. It's just pretty much going to be an update. And because it is my 7th year and it's my anniversary, I didn't really plan to prepare. I didn't prepare well enough to get some items together that I wanted to share with the rest of the world. So I have some things, mainly because I'm in the process of organizing some of my stuff here. You've probably noticed it changed. I'm back down in my basement right now, just because my craft room is a little bit of a mess. I'm in the process of going through a bunch of paper patterns that I've printed out over the years, magazine patterns, magazines and stuff like that. I'm in the process of kind of trying to organize this whole area here because next weekend I'm finally going to go get my 5 cube by 5 cube calyx shelving system from IKEA, and I'm going to be kind of redoing my working space down here to kind of organize it a little better. So it's giving me the opportunity to go through a lot of my cross stitch stuff, including my magazine stash of cross stitch magazines that I have. I have quite a few that I've been collecting over the years. And just one of the things that I was hoping to do is to go through the magazine pieces or the magazines that I have, the physical magazines, and getting all the cross stitch patterns documented in them into like an Excel spreadsheet. So I can easily say, well, I'm looking for a Brooks Books pattern. I can go to my spreadsheet, I can do a search for Brooks Books and see what magazine issues I have that have Brooks Books patterns in them. Same goes for, say, Prairie Schooler, because I know Prairie Schooler has put in a lot of ornaments and stuff in various magazines throughout the years, and it'd be just kind of nice to have a resource together where I can go through that. I also have a lot of digital magazines. So one of the things I did purchase, I have another disc here, but I have, I believe right now, the full set of the Just Cross Stitch collection since the magazine started being published in 1983. Yeah. So these are all the discs from 1983 to 2015. I don't think they've put out a 2016 to current disc yet, but I have all the Just Cross Stitch magazines that were ever published, because I have either the downloaded copy of Just Cross Stitch or the physical copy of the Just Cross Stitch magazine since I think most of them since 2015. And I'm in the process of cataloging, for myself mostly, but I'm in the process of cataloging all the patterns that were ever published in the magazines that I do have. I also have the digital copies. Get this back over here. I also have the digital copies of the Gift of Stitching magazine. You might have seen the ads on Facebook for the Gift of Stitching magazine. It's a magazine that is no longer in production. I think it ended in 2008. It was published for about 4 or 5 years. And they've been offering the entire collection of the magazine digitally that you could purchase. So in 2020 or 2021, I went ahead and purchased the entire collection of the Gift of Stitching magazine. So I'm also going through that to see what patterns I have. I also have a subscription to Just Cross Stitch magazine and the World of Cross Stitch magazine as well. And I'm also getting the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazines. So for the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazines, the nice thing is the print subscription, if you're getting the actual magazine in the mail, it does include the digital copies. So you can go online and get all the digital copies ever since the magazine's been produced. So I have downloaded all of those as well. So it's kind of a big to-do to get all the magazines that I have cataloged, because I also have quite a large selection of some magazines that are no longer in production, such as Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine, Cross Stitch and Needlework, Better Homes and Gardens, some of those. I have some of those older magazines that are no longer in print that I have to go through and catalog. So that's a big process for me. So part of this whole change is just getting everything reorganized. I have 2 plastic craft containers over there with patterns in them that I have to go through. I have quite a selection of Mirabilia patterns, quite a selection of Nora Corbett's Mom's patterns from Lavender and Lace, Butternut Road, and Told in a Garden. I have some Diane Grabner patterns. I have some Teresa Wentzler patterns. I have some other stuff that I'm trying to get cataloged just to find out what I have and everything like that. So in that process, I'm kind of getting some things together that I have been saying for a while that I'm going to do giveaways here on my channel, but I just haven't yet because I haven't gotten to the point where I'm kind of ready to do that. So this being my 7th year, be on the lookout for some giveaways and whatnot. I'm just really excited. I'm also a little nervous, which is probably why I'm talking a little fast and talking a little loud. I don't know why I was nervous for this video, but I am, I was quite nervous to do this video. I've been thinking about this video for a little over a week now when I realized that I was coming up on my 7th anniversary of FLOSSTUBE. And I've been thinking about it and thinking about it. I was going to do the video Thursday. I was going to do the video Friday. I was going to do the video yesterday. I was going to do the video earlier today, and I just kept putting it off. And oh, I can do this. Oh, I have to look for this. And oh, I have to do this. And oh, I have to enter this. And oh, I have to watch this YouTube video. Oh, I have to do this. And then I just said, you know what? I just need to sit down and do it. So here I am. So if you're here, thank you very much. If you've been here for the entire 7 years, thank you very much. I don't know if those of you that were watching my early videos are still around. I do know that at one point in time when I hit my 500th subscriber, Garon Toten Bags, Gary and Ronnie from Garon Toten Bags, they offered a giveaway for me. So I was able to give away one of their project bags from Ronnie. And they've since moved. They've since changed. They, Gary used to be part of the Sunshine Stitchers, and they've since changed. They've made their own channel, Garon Stitchery, and they've moved and they've opened up a needlework shop, and they're now doing retreats. So there's lots of changes that are going on in the cross stitching world. You know, one of the older ladies that I used to like to watch, she at one point in time said that she had over 180 works in progress, 180 whips. And there was an inside joke between my husband and I because he was walking through the room when she was going through her whip parade at one point. And this was probably at least 5.5 or 6 years ago. My husband stopped in his tracks and he's like, how many whips did she say she needed or she had? And I said, about 180. And he's looking at me, and then he's looking at the TV, and then I said, and then he stopped and he asked, he goes, well, how many do you have? And I said, about 40, because about that time I had 40. And his eyes bugged out, and I was like, but I need to catch up to her. And I got the dirtiest look. It was kind of funny. I had to laugh at that. So he's like, no, in fact, you don't need to catch up to her. So it was kind of funny. So yeah, that was kind of an inside joke between my husband and I for a while, that I needed to catch up to 180 whips. I'm not there yet. I'm in the 80s. I'm in the 80s, but I'm not at 180. I haven't broke 100 yet. And in fact, there's been a few finishes, and I have one finish to talk to you about tonight. So tonight's video is going to be all about cross stitch update. Hopefully it won't be too long of a video. I'm already 15 minutes in, haven't really started talking to you about the stitching yet. I don't have a lot of stitching updates to show you because this week has been pretty much no stitching. So you've seen this before. This is the tracking sheet that I keep next to my stitching chair that shows all the projects that I work on any given day and how many stitches I put in. Now you'll see here the letters going down the side. I am in the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group. I'm in a lot of Facebook challenge groups, which I wasn't in when I first started FLOSSTUBE. But over the years, I've started getting into more and more challenge groups. I've dropped some of the challenge groups that I was in initially off to kind of simplify my life. But anyway, for the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, you see those letters there. Those are the daily ABC cards. ABC Bingo. So we have a bingo card that has 25 of the 26 letters on it. And you pick a project, each day one letter is called, and you pick a project for that letter. However you can make the letter fit, the project fit the letter, and you stitch, the goal is to stitch 100 stitches on it on the day it's called. I have one letter done, and we're on, tomorrow is day 16. I have one letter done. So I have 15 letters that I need to catch up with. And so they'll pick the 25 letters for the first 25 days of September, and then you have until September 30th to finish, from the 26th through the 30th to kind of catch up. I honestly don't know how much catching up I'm going to do, because if you see here for September, I didn't stitch it all this week. I stitched some yesterday. I was probably going to stitch some tonight, but I don't know that I'm going to make it to stitching tonight. It depends on how fast I get this video edited and or uploaded. So there is that. As you also know, Sunday, September 1st, Mom and I came home from Camp Gotta Stitch. So hopefully you've watched that Camp Gotta Stitch video. That is pretty exciting. We don't have any retreats slated for September, but the first weekend in October, October 4th, 5th, and 6th, Mom and I are heading up to the Fall Stitch-In up near Youngstown, Ohio. We are in the Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio Facebook group for stitching, and they host 2 retreats every year up near the Youngstown area at the same hotel every time. And the only cost of the stitching retreat is the cost of the room split by the number of attendees. There's about 50 to 60 people that she will allow to register for the event. Otherwise, it's waitlisted. Unfortunately, the one coming up in October is waitlisted. It has been for a little while, but Mom and I are going. And so, you know, we paid our fee for the stitching room. It's just access to the stitching room. That's all it is. It's nothing fancy. No, you know, meet these designers, no special things. It's just a time to get together and stitch. And then your hotel accommodations or staying accommodations are completely on your own. You can stay at the hotel, which we are. We got a pretty good deal for the weekend. And then, you know, food is on your own. And whatever else you want to do is on your own. The one thing that they do have is they do their free trading stuff differently. So if you have patterns and, you know, notions and whatnot that you want to just get rid of, you bring them in. And on Saturday morning, the person that organizes the raffle will go through all the stuff that was donated for the free table and put them in groups. And then she'll put little bags out and everybody can go up and get tickets. And you put your tickets, it's all free. You put your tickets in the little baggies for the piles of stuff that you may want to get. And they'll draw tickets. So usually everybody goes home with a pile, typically, unless you don't put any tickets in any of the bags. But if you draw your first ticket, you know, you get that pile. And then if you have another ticket that's drawn later on, you have to choose between the new pile that your ticket was drawn for or the pile that you already received. So you kind of swap back and forth, and they keep doing this. It takes 2 or 3 hours to get through the piles of free stuff. But then if there's anything in your pile that you happen to win that you don't want, you just put it back on the free table, and then everybody, after the raffle thing is over Saturday night, you can all go through all the stuff that people didn't want, or you can swap with people or do whatever you want. And it's a lot of fun. It's a neat way to deal with the free table. So we usually have a lot of fun. In events past, they did a smalls exchange. I've participated in that once. This was one of the smalls that I got the first time I went. This was, there were 2 of these given out, and they were slightly finished differently. But this was stitched by a lovely lady, fully finished and everything. And it came with the little metal display stand. So I got this at I believe it was the fall stitch-in in 2023, I believe. Last year was the first time that Mom and I went. So we're going back to that in October. And then in November, the second weekend in November, because the first weekend starts Friday, November 1st. The second weekend is November 8th. We're going back to Yellow Springs, Ohio, for the Stitching in the Springs Fall Retreat held by Kat Jones of Valkyrie Stitchworks. So we have 2 more retreats coming up, and that's all exciting and new. I'm hoping to sign up for the Jingle Ball retreat again this year. I had fun with that. That's a virtual retreat held by Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Webb. I think it's Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. She hosts the Jingle Ball every year, and it was a lot of fun last year. So I'm going to do that again this year, hopefully. I wanted to get into Friend Stitch, I think, happened this weekend, or will be happening this coming weekend. I don't remember which weekend it was, but I missed out the registration for that. So I'm not doing Friend Stitch, unfortunately. And yeah, I haven't really been doing any stitching much on any projects, except for the project that I worked on at camp. So if you remember from my video, my Camp Got a Stitch video, I took a couple of projects with me to stitch on, and this was the one I focused on. This is Liberty Bowl Fillers. This is a Barbara Anna design, and this was in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine of summer 2018. This is a picture from the magazine, and it's the dog, the cat, and the mouse. They have them finished as little pillows. And I decided to finish them all in a row all together because I'm going to make them into a pillow for my dough bowl. I have a dough bowl that a friend of mine, a local friend of mine who crafts, she was selling dough bowls for a little while. So I bought a nice little dough bowl that's sitting on my coffee table in my living room. And so I finally finished Liberty Bowl Fillers. So like I said, this is going to be made into a pillow. As soon as I source the crushed walnut shells to make the pillow, I'm going to stuff it. I'm going to sew it, back it, sew it, stuff it, and put it in my dough bowl and finish it off. This fabric is a 22 count hardanger or Aida, essentially. 22 count Aida type fabric is called hardanger fabric. And this is something that I hand dyed myself using 2 colors of RIT dye. I used a dark brown RIT dye and a caramel colored RIT dye, following the pickle jar dyeing process from Carla Being Crafty. Carla Being Crafty is another YouTuber here on YouTube, or another floss tuber here on YouTube, who does stitching videos, and she's currently in the process of moving. When my mom was still out in California and I went out in June in the summer of 2019 to be there for her when my stepdad was sick and finally passed away. Mom and I went to a meetup, a SoCal Stitchers meetup. It's another Facebook group for the Southern California Stitchers. And they were meeting every week at different locations around the Southern California area. And they happened to be meeting at a Panera in La Brea out in California one Saturday. And I found out that Gary from Garon Totem Bags was going to be there because he was traveling for work and he was going to be in the area. So he had mentioned that he was going to stop by the meetup and stitch the meetup. So Mom and I actually traveled to the Panera in La Brea, which is about a 30-minute drive on side streets from our house. We traveled there and met Gary and sat and stitched. But I also met Carla Being Crafty. She's one of the FLOSSTUBERs that I also watch. And I will link her channel below as well. But anyway, she does pickle jar dyeing for her cross stitch fabrics. And so I kind of followed her process to pickle jar dye my my fabric. So I can't replicate this fabric really well. So yeah, just a piece of 22 count that I had laying around that I wanted to do something fun with. So just so you know, this is kind of what my back looks like as well. So yeah, I do have neat backs. So yeah, this is Liberty Bowl Fillers, a Barbara Anna design from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, summer of 2018. That is pretty much the only thing I worked on until yesterday. And I finished this on Sunday, the 8th. So last Sunday is when I finished this. So I took 5 or 6 days off. And then I dug out something that I haven't worked on in 2023. I haven't worked on this since I started it in 2022. So this is the Jackalopian Tapestry by Lindy Stitches. This piece kind of hits my heart really, really well. So I went to college at the University of Wyoming in Laramie, Wyoming, which is about a 2-hour drive, kind of northwest of Denver, Colorado. And I went to school there for 3 years before I met a gentleman. Well, he's not a gentleman. He's kind of an asshole. Sorry about that. But anyway, before I met somebody and moved here to Ohio. But anyway, while I was there, there was a hazing thing for the fraternities. They would take new pledges out to fields around town, the outskirts of town, and they would take them jackalope hunting. So when Lindy Stitches came out with this pattern in 2022, I think, no, 2021, she came out with this pattern in 2021, I just had to get it. This was a no-brainer for me because jackalopes were a thing for me in college, and it was a hazing ritual to take pledges out to go jackalope hunting. Jackalopes don't really exist. So if you don't know what a jackalope is, think of a jackrabbit with antelope horns. Yep, so it's a jackrabbit with antelope horns, thus jackalope. So I had to get this. I worked on this yesterday. I only put in 120 some stitches on it. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Newcastle in vintage mocha using the called for floss. I started this March 13th in 2022 as part of March Madness. So this is where I'm at on the Jackalopian tapestry. I'm stitching this one strand over 2 threads on 40 count. So it's actually 20 count. using one strand of the cardflower floss. So where I got to, I'd only gotten up to part of the border here. So I came across and then finished this. Essentially, if you cut off about right here, I finished this whole edge right there. And the border is going to meet up. So this year, I'm actually hoping to get more stitches done on Jackalopian tapestry. But this is vintage mocha, 40 count Newcastle, using the called for flosses. It's a mix of dinky dyes. Well, there's one dinky dye in it. The dinky dye that's in it is the rabbit. I believe it's the rabbit. It might be the horns, but I think it's the dark part of the rabbit. And the rest are Weeks Dye Works flosses. So this is the only other thing I've worked on so far for the month of September. And that is pretty much it for the update. So let me get this kind of put away. I'm hoping to get some more stitches on this. I may be working to get stitches on this tonight, but I don't really know yet. So I was going to put this up here. Oops, that came off. And you can see that my fabric came loose. All right. So, a couple things. I went over that. I have to de-kit this. Let me put this away. And this put back here. So as not to show the pattern. Hopefully I'll have this Liberty bowl fillers finished. Hopefully I'll have this finished another month or so. Wanted to talk about a new start. So when I was at Camp Got a Stitch, we got to meet Susan Greening Davis. And Susan Greening Davis has been in the cross-stitching and needlework industry for over 50 years. And she had a wonderful supply of banding. So I picked up this nice piece of autumn leaf banding with the gold in it. Banding isn't being made anymore, you guys. So all the stuff that she has for sale is pretty much all that's left. The company that made it overseas retired and stopped making it. Another company took over kind of the rights to make it, but isn't really making much. So any of the banding that she brings with her to events, I encourage you, if you have the chance to meet her and talk to her and buy any of her banding, to buy the banding. I don't remember if I had this pattern on me to show you, but this is the pattern that I'm going to be stitching on the banding. This is Shannon Christine Designs. This is called Autumn Drinks. I am in the Shannon Christine Designs subscriber group. I pay a monthly fee to be involved in the Facebook group, and every month she gives about anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 patterns free to the subscribers in her group early before they're published. So this will probably be published in another month or two on her website, but we get it early and we get them free as being part of her subscriber. So this is called Autumn Drinks, and I will be putting this on this banding, this autumn banding. This is a 36 count piece of banding. I double checked the count. This is a 36 count piece of banding. So this whole piece will fit on this just perfectly. I have put this in my Stitch and Button project bag. This is Halloween, basically Halloween coffee. And then on the other side is Halloween candy. And there's also, this is a little floss buddy that she also made. It's got the batting on the inside and little pockets for scissors and stuff. And there's a couple of counting pins in here as well. But, you know, you can put your scissors and your flosses and stuff in here. So I have a matching thing for this. And this is from Vic Gable at Stitch and Button. She also has a Facebook group. So or she has a Facebook group that she sells some of her stuff on, and also she has a YouTube channel, Stitch and Button, too, where she, you know, she talks about stuff. She has been coming to the Yellow Springs retreat, so I have gotten the chance to meet her. But this is one of Vic's project bags. I really like Vic's project bags. So there you go. I will actually put Stitch and Button, Stitch and Button's YouTube and Facebook link in the description box below. Another thing that I'm going to be working on in September, this was one of my WIPGO polls for September. This is a magazine pattern. This came out of the Cross Stitch and Needlework September 2012 magazine. So this is Bewitching Owl. He's really cute. Bewitching Owl. This is a piece I started in November of 2022. It was a WIPGO call. I am stitching this on a piece of black even weave that I had in my stash. I don't remember if this was a piece of big box craft store fabric or not, but this is where I got to last year. He is so cute. That's a better representation of the colors. It is really cute. I'm enjoying stitching this. This is, I think, a 28 count. This is a piece of 28 count. And I don't know where the needle minder, so the pumpkin needle minder that you see there, there we go. That little pumpkin needle minder is, interestingly enough, is a shrinky dink type thing. I don't know where it is. Sometimes at stores, I don't know where it is. Sometimes in stores you can find those little shrinky dink art kits. This one was in a one of those shrinky dinks box kits that you can get that has the markers and the things, and then you just put them in your oven and bake them after you color them. This was just a little pumpkin guy that I had colored and cut out and then put a magnet on the back. So he's a little shrinky dink guy. He was really cute, that I colored and made into a needle minder and put on Bewitching Owl. And this one is in a, I don't know if I have who this one is by, but this is in a pumpkin bag with it's got pumpkin latte stuff in the middle. I have been drinking pumpkin lattes and pumpkin coffees and pumpkin lots of stuff for a couple of weeks now. Pumpkin creamer in my coffee, you know, pumpkin flavors. I like pumpkin spice flavor, so I've been doing that. Yesterday at the store, I found Voortman, Voortman. They do those wafer cookies. They had, my Kroger had some of the pumpkin spice Voortman wafer cookies on clearance. So I bought 2 packages of those and I opened them up this afternoon. They're pretty yummy. I like them a lot. So I'll be working on Bewitching Owl the end of this month. Another piece that I took with me to camp that I actually started last year at camp. It's in my Hello Kitty project bag that I bought from a lady on Facebook. This one I started this June 17th, 2023 at last year's Camp Goddess Stitch. This is by Doreen Jones. This is called Pattern Cats. This is on a piece of 22 count mystery pink Ada, pink hardanger rather, and that's where I've gotten so far. So you can see the big cat. I have the big cat. It's the big cat. It's the big cat. So I have the big cat finished, or I have his head outlined. So this is another piece that I'm going to dig out for this. This is a considered full coverage, but this is in my Hello Kitty bag that I purchased off a lady on Facebook. I also have the matching grime guard because I'm a huge Hello Kitty fan. I think I talked about this last time, but my best friend in high school sent me my first ever Stanley mug. So this is my first ever Stanley mug. It just happens to be Hello Kitty. And we got a 3D printer about a month ago now. And I 3D printed this Hello Kitty. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. This Hello Kitty topper to go with my Hello Kitty Stanley Cup. I have 2 drinks going. I have the Prime sports drink stuff in my Stanley Cup, and then I have a fall blend coffee and pumpkin spice creamer cold brew also in my Hello Kitty strawberry double-walled insulated mug. So those are going to be the 2 other projects, and probably the new start that I'm going to pick for the rest of the month to work on. I don't know if I'll be getting into any of the AB Singo things. I haven't fully decided if I'm going to even try and catch up with that, or if I'm just going to let it go to the wayside. But the Jackalopian tapestry that I worked on yesterday actually fit one of the letters. So I did get one of the letters marked off for AB Singo, but I don't know if I'll be working on any of the other projects. Then, I didn't bring it down here. I didn't bring it down here. All right, well, bear with me just a minute. So sorry about that. Yeah, so my friend, Kelly Green with Don't Run with Scissors, she had posted that she had got a copy of the Keepsakes 2019 calendar pattern book, and she was going to be starting the pumpkin portrait called Jacques de Lanterne. And so I mentioned that I had the pattern, and then her next video, she announced, "Congratulations, Tina and I are starting a SAL." I don't know when we're starting it yet, but anyway, here it is. I don't have the picture exactly. I don't have a picture to show you, but it is the pumpkin portrait of the guy with the pumpkin head portrait in the upper right corner. Sorry that I used that screenshot from Kelly with her eyes closed, but anyway, we are going to be starting that pattern probably in October, I would assume. I thought I had brought it down here with me, but apparently I did not grab it from upstairs before coming downstairs to do the video. So I will have to show you that when we go to start it. I still have to kit mine up. I don't know. I don't have much of the stuff together, but I do have it in a bag and ready to be kitted up. So I need to get the flosses together for that. So sometime probably in October, we are going to be starting on that. She was in a stitch along with me with the Silver Creek Samplers Sing a Sampler series, Do Re Mi, that I started, I think, in 2020 or 2021 when The Sound of Music was airing on TV. I did start that, and she decided to jump in and do a stitch along with me on that. She has since finished hers. I have not finished mine. So sometime in November, December, when The Sound of Music is aired again on TV, I'm going to be pulling that back out to work on it and watch The Sound of Music. So that is my thing. So now I am going to get into some haul that I have for you. Now, I don't have too much. I showed you most of everything that I got at Camp Got a Stitch. I have been to Cross My Heart twice since camp ended at the end of August. I went last weekend, and then I went yesterday because last weekend they had the Fabulous House Series number 9 from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is called the Floating House. So I have pattern number 9, the Floating House. Look at that house, you guys. I love the otter and the lobster, the seagulls. That is really stinking cute. Yeah, really stinking cute. And then the next one is called the Fairy House. This one's also really cute. This is Fabulous House number 10. Fabulous House number 10. This is the Fairy House from Cottage Garden Samplings. Really cute. I don't know when I'll get to stitching this series, but the good thing is right now, I am watching a friend's cat while she is having surgery and needing to be away from home. She is a lady that I met through my local needle workshop. She was one of the employees there for the longest time. And she has since retired, but she is also an avid stitcher. She sat at the table with Mom and I with her friend and helper, Susan, at Camp Got a Stitch 3 weekends ago. And we all had a great time. I've known Mel for probably 15 or 20 years. And I've been watching her cat Luna this week. So when I stopped at Cross My Heart yesterday, I had a nice, she left me a nice little gift. So I have the opportunity to go on a nice little shopping spree thanks to my friend. Her cat Luna has been just absolutely a doll to watch. I took a really cute picture of Luna for Mel. This is Mel's cat Luna that I've been watching. She is a sweetheart of a cat. Absolutely sweet. Sweetheart of a cat. Also have some other news. I think I told you last time that my husband, when my mom and I were at Camp Got a Stitch that Friday night, he made a new friend. And his new friend, let's see, I don't think I have it. Yeah, I don't have the picture, his initial picture. But when we got home on that weekend, I took a picture of our new kitty. This is Augustus. He's a little boy that showed up at our house on Friday, August 29th. So that is Augustus. That was last weekend before his surgery. Oh, this was the picture that my husband sent to let me know that he made a new friend. So this was the picture that my husband sent me, letting me know that he made a new friend. And then I took that other outdoor picture. So this is Augustus sitting with me on the back porch, the back patio, last weekend. And on Tuesday, he had a visit with our vet and got fixed. So he has been staying as a refugee in our spare room. And this is him, kind of relaxing on the spare room bed. His left ear was tipped because we're not sure if he was going to be an indoor or outdoor kitty. We're still not really sure, but we're thinking we're going to try and keep him indoor. And this was one of the more recent pictures. He's sitting in our front door, looking outside, just looking really cute. So that is Augustus. We're going to call him either Gus Gus or Augustus Glue. And here's a couple of more pictures. This is another close-up of him. He's taking a selfie there. There we go. Whoops. Turn it the right way. So this is Augustus, just being the wonderful kitty that he is. He is such a sweetheart. He will let me pick him up. I can hold him. I can just love on him for as long as I want. He just loves me to death. And he follows me around like a shadow. We have been letting him out of the spare room more and more and more over this weekend. And I think starting, say, Monday or Tuesday, we're probably going to leave the door open all day just so he can wander the house. He did finally make it downstairs, down here, earlier tonight. The other cats were kind of following him around. They're hissing at him less and less, but hopefully we'll be able to just kind of let him roam the house. We're going to try and, I think, keep him inside unless he decides he wants to dart out and go wander for a little bit. We may let him do that on occasion, but we're going to try and make him an indoor kitty. So, yeah, we have a new family member. His name is Augustus, or Gus Gus, or Augustus Gloop. Gus Gus and Augustus Gloop are going to be his nicknames if he happens to chunk up and everything like that. So, yeah, I'm continuing to cat sit for Luna. Luna is Melanie's cat. I'm so continuing to house sit for Luna this week. Hopefully Friday or Saturday this coming week. Mel will be home from her rehab after surgery, and everything will be cool. So Mel is an avid stitcher. She does a lot of stitching. She has a lot of free time, but she does a lot of stitching. She really likes Prairie Schooler stuff. She really likes Mill Hill kits. She has Halloween trees up all the time. She has Christmas stuff all the time. She's stitched a lot of the Prairie Schooler Santas. She's done a lot of stitching over the years, and that's how I know Mel. So it's been a pleasure getting to spend time with Luna, and hopefully everything will go well. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. I talked about some plans. I talked about what I'm going to do, and I showed you the piece that I'm going to be stitching a stitch along with Kelly from Don't Run with Scissors. So hopefully, yeah, you can stitch along with us if you happen to have the Keepsakes 2019 pattern book from the Keepsakes 2019 calendar. I've been also doing some diamond painting. I'm in a Drills and Chills Halloween diamond painting event, and I'm also going to be doing Jingle Drills, which is a Christmas one coming up in November as well. So I'm going to be diamond painting a little more. Be looking for another diamond painting video because there's something that I'm going to be looking for from Diamond Art Club that's coming out at that store that I don't like to name and I don't like to shop at, but I may actually hold off and wait because apparently Diamond Art Club will be selling the actual calendar. They have a 2025 Diamond Art Club calendar coming out that I'm hoping to get. But apparently the one that they're coming out with has new artwork in it that the one being sold at Hobby Lobby does not. I don't really care for giving Hobby Lobby my money just because those of you may know, those of you that have been around the industry for a while may know why. Just don't agree with a lot of their policies and their politics and their theft of antiquity artwork and whatnot. But anyway, so be on the lookout for probably a diamond painting update video here soon. I'm also going to be doing speed puzzling kind of things, hopefully soon, and just kind of getting into some rearranging of my things, getting my new Calyx unit next weekend. So my view here is probably going to change quite a bit. Organizing a lot of cross-stitch stuff, diamond painting, doing all kinds of stuff, printing out 3D printable art stuff and all that. So anyway, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you very much for sharing my 7th FLOSSTUBE anniversary with me, my FLOSSTUBE-IVERSARY. So be on the lookout also in coming up videos. Once I get a little more organized and get some stuff put together, I will be doing some 7-year giveaways and thank you giveaways for my viewers. So be on the lookout for those and stuff like that. So I will have more information on those when I have stuff prepared, better prepared for doing so. That being said, I hope you guys have a great stitchy couple of weeks. I don't know when my next video will be up. I'm hoping possibly by the end of the month. Oh, I was gonna go over some stats for you for August. So for the month of August, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video or not. I worked on 4 projects for August for a total of 1,484 stitches. The most stitches I put on a project was 432 on Liberty Bowl Fillers, the dog, cat, and mouse one that I worked on at camp. And the least amount I stitched on was Saltwater Scrapbook by Lindy Stitches and the Blue Flower. I put 219 stitches in there. So they're out of 1,484. Yeah. I worked on 4 projects. So the other 2 projects made up the rest of the stitching. Those numbers may be wrong. I'd have to look at my calendar again. One of the other things I've been doing too is updating my main life calendar. So I've been using the Law of Attraction planner for the last 2 years. Really like this. I have tracker sheets in the back of my planner where I have my WIPGO board, and also I keep track of the cross stitch projects that I stitch on and how many stitches I put on them. So for August, I had 650 stitches on Liberty Bowl fillers, 255 stitches on the Jim Shore puppy, 219 stitches on Saltwater Scrapbook, and 360 stitches on Patterned Cats. So yeah, this is just my tracker system for the projects that I work on every year. This is just stuff that I glue into the back of my planner for trackers. I also have the same thing back here for diamond paintings and which days I diamond paint. So I color in. I have this coloring page for all the months with all the days. So the ones that are colored in are the days I've diamond painted. The ones that are colored in black or not colored in are days I haven't diamond painted yet. So I have more diamond painting in this year than I did all of last year. And then I also have the same type of tracker for my diamond paintings that I have for my cross stitch. But yeah, so I went through today before my video because I was so nervous. I was procrastinating doing the video, and I went through and updated my stitching counts for May, June, July, and August for all the projects that I've stitched on. So I did that. But yeah, so this is my Law of Attraction planner. I have some cool things going on. So this is like my month of September that I've got going on. And then October is coming up pretty fast. So this is just what I have for October. I don't have a whole lot penciled in just yet for October. But yeah, so that is October. I do have countdown stickers in October to count down to Halloween. I am planning on taking the trick-or-treat night, whatever. I have to look up whenever our trick-or-treat nights are held, because Ohio Planning Commission, the Central Ohio Planning Commission, COPC, is really stupid, and they change trick-or-treat night every year is different here in Central Ohio. I don't know why they do it, and I don't know why they don't always make it on the 31st, but I think it's really stupid that they change it. I really wish they would consider not changing it, because Halloween is supposed to be on the 31st. And I've always kind of hated the fact that Columbus can have trick-or-treating on the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, the 31st, sometime on November 1st or 2nd. It should always be on the 31st. That's just me. That's just my soapbox. But anyway, so this is my planner for this year. It's getting rather thick. So it's getting rather thick and bulky. So yeah, I carry this with me every week because during the day, you can see here, I have a checklist of what I work on at work and stuff like that. Just, this is work, this is life, this is fun time, this is me time. And it also has general stitching trackers and crafty trackers and stuff in it. So this is my life book every year. So yeah, and then I have all my cross stitch tracking sheets and all the stuff going on too. So I kind of have a planner for my cross stitch that I also put into my main planner every year. So yeah, we're getting through the year, everybody. Unfortunately, I have work tomorrow. I don't really want to go to work tomorrow. I don't really ever want to go work. I think going back into the office was not a good idea. But anyway, enough about that. I've got to get off of here. I got to get this edited and uploaded, so I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed your visit. I know I enjoyed visiting with you. So please, leave your comments below. Let me know if you've watched me since the beginning of my videos and how long you've been with me. I'd really like to know how many of my viewers have been here and how long you've been watching for. Thank you all to the newer subscribers. Thank you very much. I know that A few new people have come on board the last few days, last few weeks. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hopefully you found something here that will keep you coming back and that will inspire you to do other things. So thank you very much. Just keep your head up and keep moving forward, because it's all we can do. And we'll talk to you next time. All right, you guys. Thanks a lot for visiting. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care. Bye.